The aloof school beauty was stealing from a supermarket, but I caught her red-handed on my phone. When she saw that, she immediately tried to run, but I grabbed the back of her hand. "Hey, school beauty, you're under arrest." She trembled in fear, but I had no intention of letting her off, because in my previous life, I did not want to embarrass her, so I let her go. But I never expected to learn the next day that she had died in a car accident. Now that I have a second chance, I have to make sure she appears safe and sound. In my senior year of high school, but I did not know exactly when the accident happened. To put my mind at ease, I would even keep her here overnight today, as long as she survived the day unharmed. So this time, I did not let her leave. Instead, I pulled her into an empty corner. Then, with a wicked grin, I took out my phone and played the video I had just recorded. Heh. Classmate, you would not want this video getting out to the teachers and students, would you? Her cheeks flushed even deeper. Her large, watery eyes silently begged me. But I was not falling for that. I simply held out my right hand. "What did you take? Take it out yourself. Or do I have to search you myself? Bad luck for you." "Lin, this supermarket belongs to my dad." Lin Nianchu looked up. Tears already glimmered in her eyes. Yet she did not say a word. She took all 3 loaves of bread from her backpack. I was taken aback. They were all the cheapest bread. If she was going to steal, why not take something pricier and tastier? A chicken leg or some sausage would have done. So I took everything from her backpack and dumped it onto the table. Textbooks, summer homework, stationery, and a torn pencil case. There was also a white sanitary pad. Lin Nianchu's face went pale. She rushed forward at once and clenched the sanitary pad tightly in her hand. I only took 3 loaves of bread. She glared at me helplessly. Her reddened eyes made her innocent face look even more heartbreakingly fragile. I glared right back. "You are getting angry with me now." I deliberately ignored her torn backpack, snatched it back, and tossed it onto the table. "Do you think I am that easy to fool? You came in carrying a backpack and only stole 3 of the cheapest loaves." As I spoke, I slowly moved closer. Panicked, she drew her small hands up before her. I looked down at her clothes. "It is bulging here. Are you hiding something else?" She immediately covered her chest with her hands. "No, I do not want to hear excuses. Take off your jacket yourself. Do not make me do it. Or would you rather everyone at school hears about this tomorrow?" She panicked instantly. She raised her hands and slowly took off her jacket. Her slender, pale neck was revealed. Her t-shirt collar was already wrinkled. Her skin was so fair. For the first time, I realized. I had never realized a girl's chest could be so full beneath her clothes. Lin Nianchu's eyes were red-rimmed. With humiliation in her gaze, she spoke. "Have you seen enough? I am not hiding anything." I leaned in for another look. The scent of body wash drifting toward me, mingled with the clean fragrance of laundry detergent. "Is there not still another layer of clothing?" She bit her lips softly. "This is my last layer. I cannot take it off." I nodded. I did not make any further demands, but I noticed something important. If a girl was searched this closely by a boy, her eyes should be full of disgust and coldness. But Lin Nianchu seemed merely embarrassed and annoyed. In that instant, I understood. Lin Nianchu did not dislike me. If I let myself think more boldly, before this, she might even have had feelings for me. But as far as I remembered, we had never spoken. In class, we had not even shared a glance. I was simply too oblivious as a teenager. Thinking back on those days gave me a headache. Back then, Shen was the only girl in my heart. I fawned over her so nervously. Whenever she blew hot and cold, I would toss and turn all night, unable to sleep. Thinking about it now, I was such an idiot. I stepped back to paces. My gaze dropped lower. "You are not hiding anything in your pants, are you?" The girl obediently turned out both pockets, but I ignored that completely. I merely glanced at the clock on the wall. Only a few minutes had passed. The car that was about to hit her probably had not even reached the intersection yet. So I continued searching. "What does turning out your pockets prove? Let me see." As I spoke, I crouched down, about to feel around her shorts. This time, Lin Nianchu truly panicked. She breathed hard with anxiety. I had expected that reaction, so I told her to jump twice in place, to see whether anything fell out. When Lin Nianchu did not move, I said, "Either I check myself, or you jump twice right there. Your choice." Hearing that, Lin Nianchu chose to comply. Stealing was wrong, after all. She had no grounds to argue. She slightly raised her forearms, then jumped in place as if gathering her courage. I was about to pretend to look at the floor, but it was like my auto-aim was still on, and my gaze instinctively drifted upward. Fortunately, she was focused on looking down, and did not notice my gaze. She jumped again. I quickly said, "Okay, that is enough. If you keep jumping, you are going to make me dizzy." I was not lying. I only took 3 loaves of bread. I have given them back. Can I go now? I could not think of another reason to keep her there. When she was about to leave, I immediately called out for her to wait. She turned back, clutching her backpack tightly to her chest. Her beautiful eyes watched me warily. I could not help asking, Are you hungry?" At those words, Nianchu lowered her head and said nothing. I said nothing else. I tore open a loaf of bread and held it out to her. "Eat before you go." The storeroom fell silent. Nianchu did not look up for a long time, nor did she reach for it. She stood there clutching her backpack, like a child being punished. Her thin body looked as though a gust of wind could knock her over. "I already opened it. I cannot sell it now. Take it." I shoved the bread into her hands. A few seconds later, Nianchu slowly raised her hand, bringing the bread to her lips. She began taking small bites. Then she ate faster and faster. But suddenly, 2 tears, like pearls from a broken string, fell one after another from her eyes to the floor. She was crying. From the moment I caught her and searched her, she had stubbornly refused to shed a single tear. Not until she was eating the bread could she finally hold it in no longer. I silently watched her, then turned and opened another loaf of bread, pressing it into her free hand. Then I patted my pockets, only to find I had no tissues. Damn it, my 17-year-old self did not carry tissues. A real man should always keep tissues on hand. I did not know what had happened to Nianchu's family, no matter how poor they were. This was the 21st century. How could it drive such a gifted model student to steal bread from a supermarket just to eat? After finishing the second loaf, Nianchu looked at the third. Before I could turn around, she walked over, opened it, and began eating. As she ate, she opened her backpack and took out paper and a pen. She quickly wrote several lines. August 30th, 2010. Nianchu owes Chen Huaian 3 loaves of bread. The moment I took it, I froze. The name Chen Huaian was written in the same handwriting as the note I remembered from the vote. It was exactly the same. Only then did I understand. The person who had quietly voted for me as sports representative last semester was Nianchu, not Shen Shiyu. I had always thought it was that fake sweet manipulator. That made me even more excited, so I fawned over her even more eagerly. Meanwhile, Shen Shiyu had been enjoying my pathetic devotion all along. My family happened to own a supermarket, and that scheming girl mooshed off us repeatedly. Bottled water, drinks, gum, even sanitary pads. I placed the IOU on the table. "Do you think writing an IOU means we are done with what happened today?" Nianchu braced herself for the worst. "How do you want to settle this?" I waved a hand. "I am kidding. Come with me first. I tore your backpack earlier. I will replace it." "No need. I can sew up the torn part myself. This is my decision. Chen Huaian, do not like owing people." With that, I led Nianchu to the backpack section. Her gaze immediately settled on a pink backpack. Her eyes lingered on it longingly. I took it and placed it in her hands. "This is for you." No. My backpack was already damaged. Stubbornly, she put the backpack back. "If you do not want what happened today getting around school, then take it." Nianchu hesitated, then took the backpack down again. Then she added another item to the IOU. 1 backpack. Her expression turned bitter, as if she thought she would never be able to repay it. Seeing her expression, I could not help smiling. "Since you wrote an IOU, come with me again." The moment we reached the stationery aisle, something bumped into my back. When I turned around, Nianchu was backing away, holding her forehead. "Watch where you are going. You like ramming me with your forehead that much. Next time, I will let you do it all you want." With that, I put a pink pencil case in her arms. When Nianchu saw its price, she immediately refused. "I do not want it. If you plan to hold what happened today over me, I do not have that much money to pay you back." Nianchu cut me off. I looked at her with amusement. "Hey, I never said you had to pay me back. Or you could think of another way to repay me." "Another way?" Nianchu tilted her head slightly. She seemed to think of something. When she saw me smiling at her, she quickly looked away, but her bright red earlobes gave her away. Then I continued leading Nianchu around the supermarket. But When we reached a certain aisle, Nianchu shyly turned and walked away. Stop. If you do not want what happened today spreading around school, let me tell you, I am a bad student. Bad students are capable of anything. Only then did Nianchu turn to look at me. I don't want sanitary pads. You really do not need them? Let me do the math. You have one in your bag, and one you are wearing. That leaves you with only two. Nianchu had no answer. I smiled, picked up a pack of sanitary pads, and tossed it to her. Nianchu gave a small jump, then raised her hands and caught it. She stared at the IOU in shock. After adding the pads to the list of what she owed, she looked at them with faint wonder. So these really had a fragrance. She had only used loose, unwrapped ones before. They had no scent. Then we came to the front entrance. I told her, watch where you are going. Watch for cars. Get home safely. Go to school as usual tomorrow. As long as you behave, we will pretend today never happened. Understand? Naturally, Nianchu did not understand why I was saying this, but she nodded softly anyway. Then she presented the IOU to me with both hands. This IOU is yours. I'll honor it, no matter what. I nodded, then opened the supermarket door for her. Only then did I remember that on August 30th, about half an hour after Nianchu left, Shen would arrive with her friends. Since everyone involved in the mix-up over the class sports representative vote was here, it was time to settle this today. I called out to Nianchu and told her not to leave yet. She should stay and watch the show. Back then, Shen neither confirmed nor denied our relationship. She accepted every gift I gave her, yet kept her distance whenever we were together. She said that before graduation. This was an observation period, and I needed to prove myself. While Dad stocked the supermarket, I delivered goods to Shen. Even my 14-year-old sister looked down on my pathetic devotion to her. It was not until my sophomore year of college that I learned Shen had already been dating an upperclassman for a year. My heart turned to ashes. I began working relentlessly to better myself, and by my early 30s, I was worth over 100 million yuan. By then, Shen had been abandoned by her ex-husband, raising her child alone. Only then did I truly realize, over all those years, how many absurd things I had done for that woman. Now, when Shen saw me, with Nianchu, someone I had never had anything to do with, she said sarcastically, Well, Chen Huaian, you can even talk to Nianchu now. So, who do you think is prettier, Nianchu or me? She came here to shop. What would you like today, Shen? Shiyu, your classmate's family really owns a supermarket. This place is huge. Shen looked pleased with herself and waved casually. Yes, look around all you want. Take whatever you like. It is on me today. The two girls looked envious, then began picking things out without holding back. Before long, the two girls were carrying armfuls of snacks and placed them on the checkout counter. As for Shen as usual, she took several packs of gum and some drinks. Chen Huaian, get us to large bags. I agreed at once, then scanned each barcode one item at a time. Shen suddenly froze. What are you doing? Scanning the prices. Did you not come here to buy things? At those words, the two girls behind Shen whispered. Did Shiyu not say we would not have to pay? Shen was starting to lose face. Chen Huaian, why are you being so cheap today? It is only some snacks. They are not expensive. That made me laugh. Right, they are not expensive. You said you were treating them. Can you not afford it? Shen was left speechless. Beside us, Nianchu blinked. She watched in surprise. As it unfolded, suddenly, Shen slammed the checkout counter. Chen Huaian, do not tell me you are serious. I am really getting angry. Look at you, getting worked up again. So, what if you are angry? This is robbery in broad daylight. Shen expression stiffened. Then a possibility occurred to her. Did you, yesterday, see me with the class president at the mall? Chen Huaian, why are you so petty? I only ran into the class president by chance. Sorry, I slept at home all day yesterday. I did not go to the mall. Then what is wrong with you today? I am perfectly normal. Is it not perfectly normal to pay for what you buy? Nianchu, am I right? At that, Nianchu turned her head away and ignored me, because she had just stolen something herself. Shen Shiyu's friends could not bear to watch any longer. Maybe just forget it. Shiyu, we do not want them that badly. Yeah, it is not worth getting upset over this. But Shen refused to let it go. She played her trump card. Chen Huaian. Let me tell you, the class president confessed to me yesterday. I smiled at that. You did not say yes, but you did not turn him down either. You told him studies came first, and you would talk about it after graduation. With her act ruthlessly exposed, Shiyu immediately lost it. Chen Huaian. What do you mean by that? Nothing. Are you buying these or not? If not, put them back. The two girls immediately moved to take their things. Shiyu stopped them. Chen Huaian, this is how you like me. This is how you act in front of me? Believe it or not, tomorrow I will accept the class president's confession. I started applauding. Laughing, I sang, happy confession. Seeing this, Nianchu could barely stop herself from laughing out loud. But when she saw me looking at her, she quickly turned her head away. Her eyes flashed with panic for an instant. Shiyu grabbed her to friends and prepared to leave. You definitely went to the mall yesterday. Chen Huaian, you will regret this. I suddenly called after them, stop. Shiyu thought I had changed my mind. But the next second, I slammed the checkout counter. Regret my ass. Put everything you took back where it belongs. Shiyu's mouth fell slightly open. She stood rooted to the spot, her hands trembling, her eyes reddened without her realizing it. As for her to friends, they had long heard about my bad reputation at school. They hurriedly put the merchandise back and led her away. After all that, I felt much better. Nianchu came up to me, clutching her backpack. If there is nothing else, I will be going. I said nothing. Instead, I picked up a hair clip and gently clipped it into her loose hair. Nianchu froze for a moment. It took her a while to react. She hurriedly removed the clip. I do not want it. It is a thank you gift. When I ran for class sports representative last year. Thank you for voting for me. Nianchu's eyes began to dart away. A few seconds later, she promptly shoved the hair clip back into my hand, then turned and fled. Be careful on your way home. If you dare run in the street again, I'll report you to the school tomorrow. Nianchu did not look back, but obediently slowed her pace, changing from a run to a walk. I could see it clearly now. No matter how credible the threat was, as long as I threatened to report her for stealing, the moment I made that threat, it would work on her every time. Heh. Next time, I could use this to have a little exciting fun with her. On September 1st, when I returned to the classroom, I discovered I was second from last. Nianchu was dead last. This top student had, incredibly, scored 0. The reason was simple. She had not taken the final exams, and Nianchu naturally became my desk mate. Our homeroom teacher, Zhang, gave me a stern warning. I am warning you. Do not disturb her studies in class. If I catch you, I will make you stand on the sports field podium as punishment. Shamelessly, I asked, what counts as bullying her? As I spoke, I poked Nianchu's arm. Does this count as bullying? The earlobe on the side I had poked turned red, and she shrank away. Zhang's face reddened with anger. She grabbed a stick, ready to teach me a lesson. I easily dodged it, then swaggered into the classroom. Nianchu lowered her head and followed behind. Under everyone's watchful eyes, her other earlobe turned red too. At our window-side seats in the back row, Nianchu focused on the book before her. Suddenly, I laid my head sideways on her desk, boldly admiring the girl's breathtaking eyes without restraint. Nianchu tightly gripped the pen in her hand. Her eyes panicked as she quickly lowered her head, avoiding eye contact with me. Her gaze fell to her toes. Both her lobes were scarlet. She was getting flustered. Get back to your own seat. But the more I watched her like this, the more delighted I felt. It was not until Zhang sharply struck the desk at the podium that I finally looked away from Nianchu's face. Yet my gaze still lingered on her without restraint. A minute later, Nianchu could not take it anymore. What are you looking at? Nothing. I was just wondering why your mouth is so small. Nianchu pressed her little lips tightly together, trying not to let me see them. She turned her head away. I withdrew my gaze. I took a bag of steaming meat buns from my backpack. Then I handed the bag to her. Finish them during the long break. I do not want them. You dare say no. Believe it or not. She immediately took the buns obediently. Her beautiful eyes shot me an indignant glare. That is more like it. Just behave. Zhang slapped the podium again. English is next. Get your textbooks ready. Uneasily, she glanced toward the window-side corner. She raised a hand and pointed at me, silently threatening me with a fierce glare. Only then did she leave the classroom. The English teacher, carrying lesson plans and textbooks, had been waiting at the door for some time. After Zhang smiled and nodded at her, she entered the classroom. A pair of beautiful legs clad in black stockings caught everyone's eye. The English teacher was named Wen. She had only recently graduated. She was not exceptionally beautiful, but she was pleasantly pretty. She had a lovely figure and an elegant air, and a warm personality too. She was eager to get along with her students. As the bell rang, I took out my English textbook. Looking at the pristine portrait on the first page, I wanted to draw dark circles and little mustaches on it, but I forcibly held down my right hand. No, I cannot draw on it. In this life, I am going to study hard. Damn muscle memory. Nianchu turned to study me. She said nothing. The boys in class could be pretty immature sometimes. She often saw me walking along, then suddenly leap into the air like I had gone mad, making a shooting motion. Whenever that happened, Nianchu would stop and stare at me in bewilderment. To keep me from noticing her gaze, she would lower her head and walk past me. After that, she realized I was rather strange. Whenever I saw a trash can, my hand would twitch instinctively. Whether there was a paper ball or an empty bottle nearby, I had to pick it up, then arc it perfectly toward the trash can. If I missed, I would awkwardly run over and retrieve it, return to my spot, and shoot again. Once, I missed for an entire break. I was nearly losing my mind. Nianchu, sitting in the classroom, turned her head. Her beautiful eyes stared blankly at the busy boy in the hallway. She watched, entranced, for the entire break. I had wanted to say something to Nianchu, but when Yuan asked me to read the first passage aloud to everyone, I stood up and naturally began reading the first paragraph. The moment the first word left my mouth, when Yuan's expression changed instantly. In surprise, she lifted her eyes from the book. The entire class turned around. Nianchu also looked over in astonishment, her eyes fixed on me beside her. She thought to herself, what flawless pronunciation. And it is British English, too. Out of habit, when Yuan leaned against the desk beside her, one leg slightly bent. The pose made Ma Kiming's eyes light up from the corner. What did you do all break? Go abroad. Even that wouldn't explain it. I answered her with complete sincerity. Of course, I studied my heart out. I am going to college, after all. Hearing that, Nianchu beside me showed a flicker of surprise and delight in her eyes. When Yuan looked at me, for you to have that mindset, I could not be happier. Chen Huaian, I believe in you. Have a seat. That really let me show off. Before my rebirth, I had expanded my business overseas. Every day, I had been forced to speak English. I could not help slapping my thigh, but I hit Nianchu's thigh instead. Startled, Nianchu pulled her leg back. Unable to bear it any longer, she raised her little fist and punched my arm in return. Her beautiful eyes flashed with anger. Hit my leg again, and I will tell the homeroom teacher. I really hit the wrong leg. I meant to slap my own. Still, Nianchu's punch on my arm did not hurt. It actually felt kind of nice. I patted her arm again. I will help you practice speaking English. You help tutor me in the other subjects. How about it? Nianchu did not answer. After a while, she handed me a note, agreeing to my proposal. When class ended, I reminded Nianchu to eat. Nianchu took out the buns and offered them to me with both hands. I'm not hungry. I don't eat breakfast. I told you. Hurry up and eat. Don't make me angry. Only then did she open the plastic bag. She brought a bun to her lips and began taking small bites. When she reached the meat filling, her eyes lit up. Her next bite was much bigger. She quickly finished one, perhaps worried that she was eating too messily. Nianchu looked up and gave me a shy glance. The tips of her ears had turned red. I watched her with a satisfied smile. If this wasn't like raising a daughter, what was it? After she finished the second, 2 buns remained in the bag. I'm full. I'll eat the rest at lunch. Eat when I tell you to eat. No backtalk. Nianchu fixed me with an icy stare. For once, she seemed ready to resist my tyrannical ways. I leaned close to her face. You're still glaring at me. Keep it up, and just see what happens. She hurriedly opened the plastic bag, then obediently put the 3rd bun into her mouth. But she ate much more slowly this time, as though she could not bear to finish it so soon. Watching this, I thought to myself, I should play hardball with her. With her secret about stealing, I could hold it over her forever. Just then, Shiyu walked over to me. Seeing this, Nianchu turned away with a cool expression, focusing on her bun. Yet she still listened closely. I glanced at Shiyu. What do you want? Come outside. I need to talk to you. But when Shiyu reached the door, she found me still sitting at my desk. Huaian, you're getting more and more out of line. I immediately grew impatient. What did I do? Say it here. I'm too lazy to move. Shiyu had no choice but to come back over. With so many people around, she could not speak loudly. She said in a low voice, "You'd better know when to stop. When I said I would accept Zhao Zimo's confession, I was only trying to scare you. It was just a joke." Shiyu cautiously glanced toward Zhao Zimo, then whispered, "I don't like him. So you like me?" Shiyu's little face flushed. "I told you, we're still too young. We can't date. Wait until we graduate." Suddenly, Nianchu coldly reminded us, "The teacher's coming." Shiyu stamped her foot in frustration. She could only return to her seat. Before long, it was noon. Shiyu wanted to eat with me, but I refused outright. With no other choice, she left alone. I looked at Nianchu beside me. She went to the cafeteria so late every time. What could she possibly eat? Or did she not eat at all? Yet she was still studying diligently. 5 minutes after I lay my head on my desk, steady snores echoed through the classroom. Nianchu turned to look at me, and saw drool running from the corner of my mouth. She hurriedly took out a tissue. She folded it in half, then carefully brought it to the corner of my mouth. She had a secret no one knew. She had known Chen Huaian since middle school. Her mind held so many memories of this boy, but she also knew he remembered none of them. Perhaps he had never cared in the first place, but that was all right. She remembered. Thinking of this, Nianchu couldn't resist raising her slender, pale fingers. She lightly touched my cheek. When my snoring stopped, she instantly pulled her hand back. She sat up straight, her heart racing. When my snores started again, Nianchu finally breathed a sigh of relief. After sitting quietly for a moment, she quietly rose, put on her backpack, and walked out of the classroom. This was her usual time for lunch. At the cafeteria, the students had long finished eating. The cafeteria was nearly empty, and the cleaners had begun tidying up. Nianchu silently walked up to the serving counter. The short-haired lunch lady saw her and said again, "You again? Sweetheart, how many times have I told you? Come earlier next time." By this time, all the dishes are gone, and only the gravy is left. Nianchu gave an awkward smile. "It's all right. Plain rice is enough for me. Don't you know she's first in her grade? She comes late because she's studying." A long-haired lunch lady nearby recognized Nianchu and pointed it out. The short-haired woman smiled, her eyes warmly fixed on Nianchu. "Look at you. You're as pretty as an angel, and your grades are so good. I'd be thrilled if my son were half as good as you. I'll give you extra rice, and pour some meat gravy over it. Once she served the rice, I'll charge you just half a yuan." After swiping her meal card, Nianchu noticed she had only 5 yuan and 20 cents left on it. Even half a yuan for a meal was a little extravagant for her, but without food, she had no energy to study. She had tried it. Holding her bowl of plain rice, Nianchu found a seat in the corner. She ate slowly, not wasting a single grain. Meanwhile, I suddenly woke up, only to find Nianchu gone. I looked at the clock and realized I had slept for half an hour. At this hour, it'd be a miracle if any dishes were left. At the cafeteria, I asked the short-haired lunch lady, "Ma'am, before me, was there a pretty girl who came here to eat?" "Yes, that girl studies until very late. Every time she comes, only plain rice is left." After getting my rice, I found a seat and began to think. It seemed Nianchu ate only rice for lunch. Of course, studying was only a cover. Nianchu had merely found herself an excuse to eat only the plain rice left after everyone else had eaten. Kids this age all have strong pride. Nianchu was no exception. I understood that well. But what puzzled me was, where did she go after lunch? At the first class that afternoon, homeroom teacher Zhou Zheng and class president Zhao Zimo walked in together. With the fall sports meet coming on September 20th, they had come to ask what the class wanted for its uniforms. But to their surprise, every boy in class shouted in unison, "Japanese-style schoolgirl uniforms." All the girls fell silent, their cheeks faintly flushed. Only a few girls, including Shiyu, looked a little excited. Girls their age did not often wear short skirts, whether at home or at school. Everyone was fairly conservative. I glanced beside me. Nianchu was looking at her textbook, utterly unconcerned. I looked away, without saying a word. Quietly, I watched the homeroom teacher ahead, and the restless students. Of course, I wanted to see Nianchu in a pretty schoolgirl uniform. I wanted her to enjoy her youth just like the other girls, especially with the natural beauty she had. I had never seen her with her long hair down. It was a shame that heaven had given her such a beautiful face, yet denied her the chance to show it. Of course, I could help her financially, and I would gladly do so. I even had enough money to buy dozens of them. At my age, all my Lunar New Year gift money was saved in my bank card. But I also knew that to help a girl from a poor family, who also had fierce pride, simply giving her money or clothes was the worst possible approach. Zhou Zheng also approved of Japanese-style school uniforms. He told the class to submit within a week 50 yuan and their sizes to the class president. When Lin Nianchu heard the price, she raised her head in surprise. Then, she silently lowered her head and returned to her textbook. During physical education class that afternoon, I looked at Lin Nianchu. Then it's settled. Come to my house this Saturday and tutor me. Lin Nianchu immediately grew nervous. I can tutor you, but I never said I would go to your house. Then I'll name a few quiet places. You pick one. Option 1, my bedroom. Option 2, the supermarket storeroom. Option 3, a private karaoke room. Option 4, a hotel room with a king-size bed. Seeing the mischievous look in my eyes, she understood at last. I was forcing her to choose my bedroom. Lin Nianchu's face reddened slightly. I can go to your house, but someone has to be there. There will be. Lin Nianchu said nothing. After packing up, she held her pink backpack in both arms and gave me a doubtful nod. She looked adorable. I smiled, feeling as though I'd successfully abducted her. What do you mean, abducted her? I saved her life. Her life belongs to me now. I treat her like my own daughter. As everyone else in class left, Lin Nianchu and I hurried downstairs to assemble. I deliberately waited to walk alongside her, but found Lin Nianchu wearing her backpack and lingering slowly behind me, as if deliberately keeping her distance. I did not press the issue. With my blue backpack slung over one shoulder and both hands in my pockets, I headed for the field downstairs. My 6-foot frame swayed along casually. Only then did Lin Nianchu pick up her pace. From behind, the boy and girl, their blue and pink backpacks looked unmistakably like a couple set, but clearly only the more sensitive girl noticed the scene. After their warm-up run on the field, Class 28 lined up in rows, looking ahead at their tall, skinny, dark-skinned physical education teacher, Sun Ping. Rumor had it that he could do 21 arm pull-ups. He was a real beast. An English teacher, Wan's dream man. Starting next class, students signed up for the sports meet would train for their events. For today, you are free to do as you please. Class 28 erupted in cheers and scattered in every direction like startled animals. But for some people, the words free activity were a nightmare. They could only wander around the field or sit on the steps and stare into space. Lin Nianchu was one of those people, but she did not mind. While I headed to the basketball court with a few guys, Lin Nianchu walked toward the steps where everyone left their bags. She treasured that backpack. She even placed her required Chinese Volume 3 textbook beneath it to keep the bottom from getting dusty. At the steps, Lin Nianchu sat down, carefully cradling her backpack in her arms. Then she held her Chinese textbook before her eyes. But once she opened it, the gaze that should have been on the words drifted toward the basketball court. She was always like this. Every free period, during time she should have spent studying, she spent it watching the basketball court instead. Just then, in my school uniform, I drove past my defender with the ball. I shook Zhao Zimo so badly he stumbled from side to side, then took 3 steps to the basket and slammed it home. The hoop hummed from the impact. I landed smoothly and rolled my neck. Lin Nianchu's beautiful eyes widened on the steps. At the edge of the court, Shen Shiyu, who was watching, and her 2 best friends were equally stunned. Zhao Zimo's center-parted hair hung limp like a drowned rat's. He spoke in disbelief. Chen Huaian, you can dunk. Back in school, a guy who could dunk was the undisputed god of the basketball court. I was a little surprised too. Since I was reborn yesterday, I had noticed my strength had grown considerably. Naturally, my vertical leap had improved too. Was this an unexpected perk of being reborn? Could you at least boost my damn IQ instead? What the hell good is a little extra strength? Will it get me into college? Chen Huaiyan, that was so cool. Shen Shiyu said, her cheeks faintly flushed. I gave her a casual glance, then looked away, toward the distant steps. Our eyes suddenly met. The instant our gazes connected, Lin Nianchu immediately turned her head away. She hugged her Chinese textbook to her chest, her lips beginning to move, pretending she was silently reciting the text. But her earlobes had turned bright red. This girl really did sit there without fail. As I recalled, during every physical education free period, Lin Nianchu sat in that exact spot with the textbook. I look this damn cool on the court. And you, my daughter, will not even come watch. I withdrew my gaze and found Shen, Shiyu, and her two best friends, still gazing at me with dewy, admiring eyes. Chen Huaian. That dunk was really cool. Shen Shiyu spoke again. Her tone suggested she rarely praised anyone, so even one compliment from her felt unusual. I merely said, "Oh," and ignored her. Hearing Shen Shiyu's praise, Zhao Zimo glared at me, clearly unwilling to accept it. Tossing his center-parted hair, he said, "No one can beat me at basketball." Chen Huaian. One-on-one. Yuan? Before I could answer. Class monitor. You are just giving him a chance to show off. The real humiliation comes the moment he dunks, and we pretend nothing happened. I raised my hand and flipped him off. You really are ruthless, man. Zhao Zimo took the first possession. I looked behind him, and my expression suddenly changed. I tossed him the ball. Zhao Zimo eagerly went for a three-step layup. I did not stop him. Instead, I sprinted toward the steps. A crowd of students had gathered there. I pushed through the crowd and found Lin Nianchu sitting on the ground, clutching her right ankle with a pained expression. Physical education teacher Sun Ping hung his whistle back around his neck. What happened? The girl beside us hesitated, then said, "Just now, I think I saw a girl push Lin Nianchu from behind. Then she tumbled down the steps." What did that girl look like? What class was she in? I did not see her clearly. She ran off. What the hell is wrong with her? She had better hope I do not catch her. I cursed loudly without holding back, then hurried over and crouched beside Lin Nianchu. "Give me a hand. I will take her to the infirmary." I had worked so hard to save this girl, yet someone actually dared to hurt her. Several girls immediately stepped forward to help Lin Nianchu up. She hopped on one foot, staring blankly at the broad back of my school uniform. She hesitated. When she did not respond, I turned back impatiently. "What are you waiting for? Get on." Lin Nianchu bit her lip, opened her arms, and gently rested her upper body against my back. At that moment, the anger on my face suddenly faded into calm. How could I describe how I felt? Feeling her warmth slowly seep into my back, I was unexpectedly flustered. At that moment, I had transcended. Seeing me frozen there in a crouch, Sun Ping frowned. "What is it? Cannot carry her? If you cannot, I will do it." Hearing that, Lin Nianchu tightened both arms around my neck. Her earlobes were crimson red, and she looked mortified with embarrassment. I hurriedly answered with an innocent look. "No, no, no. My foot just went numb. It is fine now." After standing, I supported Lin Nianchu's legs with both hands. When she started to slip down, I bounced her higher on my back. In that instant, it felt as though the whole world pressed against my back again. I could not describe the feeling. If I had to, I could only say I gained a deeper understanding of what a soft, sweet teenage girl really means. Her faint fragrance wafted from behind me. It felt as though, at this moment, she already belonged to me. Whoever married her someday would be incredibly lucky. Carrying Lin Nianchu to the steps, I bent down slightly so she could pick up her backpack. I took another 2 steps and had her pick up mine as well. "Just hang my backpack around my neck. It is heavy. Your neck will hurt." Lin Nianchu's voice sounded close beside my ear. Seeing her carry a backpack in each hand, I worried her arms would get tired, so I quickened my pace toward the infirmary. What I could not see was that on the girl's face, a smile as warm as spring sunlight had already blossomed. "Who pushed you? Did you see who it was? Do you suspect anyone? You are worried I will teach them a lesson, right?" When we reached the infirmary, I made a full circuit of the infirmary with Lin Nianchu on my back, but there was no doctor in sight. Where is everyone? I looked around again, but still found no one, so I could only set Lin Nianchu down first, on a bed covered with a white disposable sheet. The girl sat at the edge of the bed, her toes just touching the floor. "Forget it. I will handle it myself." I pulled over a small stool and sat in front of Lin Nianchu, but she suddenly clamped her legs together and asked warily, "What, did you sprain your ankle? Dislocate it, or break a bone?" Both of Lin Nianchu's earlobes turned red, yet her voice remained soft. as she asked coldly. You know how to check it. Of course I can. Back in my rural hometown, I often set the bones of old sows in the village. Old sows? Why would they? Then she suddenly realized something. Embarrassed and angry, she raised her fist. She punched my shoulder. I laughed. At the same time, I grabbed Lin Nianchu's right foot. Her canvas shoe was very clean, but the edge of its sole was cracked in many places. It had yellowed with age. She had clearly owned it for a long time. I took off her shoe. A clean white sock came into view. Lin Nianchu bit her lips shyly, pressing her legs tightly together. But my next move made her so embarrassed and angry that she nearly kicked me to death. Without warning, I lifted her white-socked foot with its delicate arch and brought it to my nose for a sniff. Before Lin Nianchu could even react, she heard me ask strangely, It has been a whole day. Why do your feet not smell? You, what is wrong with you? Even someone as quiet and aloof as Lin Nianchu could not stop herself from cursing at me. I pursed my lips. I caught her withdrawn right foot again. Lin Nianchu struggled, so I gave her calf a hard smack. Hold still. Humiliated, Lin Nianchu complied, though she glared at me in angry reproach. I took off her white sock, revealing skin as smooth and pale as cream on her calf, and her small heel, pink against fair skin. Then I pressed her slightly swollen, pale ankle. Lin Nianchu let out a muffled groan. Does it hurt? The girl nodded shyly. Then I will be gentler. I cupped her slender ankle between both hands, turning it slowly to assess the joint. A moment later, my expression relaxed slightly as I said, It is nothing serious. It is just a sprain. The swelling is minor, too. Just apply some medicated safflower oil. I stood up and searched the drawer in the back. I found half a bottle of safflower oil. Then I sat back down on the small stool. I placed Lin Nianchu's right foot on my knee, ready to apply the oil, but she pulled her foot back. I will apply it myself. How dare you? I looked up and scolded her. Lin Nianchu's right leg stiffened. I took her foot back in one smooth motion. Then I rebuked her. What is there to be embarrassed about in a situation like this? But only seconds later, Lin Nianchu asked coolly, You are only treating my ankle. Why did you take my whole sock off? Did I? What is in your right hand? I looked down and found her removed sock in my right hand, while my left held her small, delicate foot, fair as jade, suspended in midair. Before I could look at it for more than a moment, Lin Nianchu angrily pulled her foot back. With an unfriendly look, she snatched back her sock, not forgetting to shoot me a glare. The disgust in her eyes made it seem as if she were looking at some revolting fetishist. After turning her back to me and applying the oil herself, Lin Nianchu put on her sock and shoe. She slung on her backpack and left the infirmary. I chased after her, trying to explain. No, wait, listen to me. Sometimes my hands do not listen to me. Lin Nianchu ignored me, walking ahead with her head lowered. School was already over. Lin Nianchu said she was going back to the classroom to study, so I had let her head toward the school building, while I went to the bike shed to get my bicycle and head home. But when I wheeled my bike to the school gate, I could not stop thinking about Lin Nianchu's sprained ankle. I did not even know where she lived. Was it far? Was she really going to limp all the way home? I sighed, then reluctantly turned back toward the school building. I would take her home today. When I reached the window of class 28, senior year, I slowly eased my steps and stopped. In the empty classroom, Lin Nianchu was not studying. She was limping around the platform, holding an eraser, straining up on tiptoe to erase the writing on the blackboard. The third class that afternoon had been history. The history teacher was a 6'3" man who loved writing high up on the board. That made it difficult for Lin Nianchu to erase it. She held the eraser up with all her strength, her right arm stretched high. Her uniform sleeve slid down, revealing her slender, pale forearm. Still, she could not reach the very top of the board, where the teacher's wild scrawl remained. My gaze shifted silently to the duty roster in the corner of the board. It read, Blackboard and Podium, Chen Huaian. On the platform, Lin Nianchu dropped her arm in frustration. She simply could not reach. She paused where she stood for a moment, took a deep breath, and hopped on one foot. She thrust her arm up as far as it could reach, trying to reach the top of the board. But just as the eraser was about to touch the writing, a large hand appeared in Lin Nianchu's view. It took the eraser from her hand. Lin Nianchu turned her head, and her heel came down. Her injured ankle made her stumble sideways, and I quickly caught her arm. I pulled her back upright. The boy and girl met each other's eyes. Nianchu, as if she had been caught doing something she should not, quickly stepped back and asked uneasily, "Did you not go home?" I looked at her, without answering right away. Then I raised the eraser in my hand and easily reached the writing at the very top. I wiped the board clean. I tossed the eraser onto the platform. No wonder I had never erased the board before. Yet the teacher had never hassled me the next day. "Tell me, were you the one erasing it for me every time?" "No." After saying that, her eyes darted with the guilty panic of someone caught in the act. She hurriedly glanced up at me again. "If there is nothing else, I need to continue studying." With that, she turned to step down from the platform. I quickly grabbed her arm. "Do not study today. Your ankle is hurt. I will take you home first. I do not need you to take me." Nianchu refused at once. I frowned. "Then, where do you live? Is it far?" "It is not far." I gave her a doubtful look. Still, I could not be sure. Nianchu simply did not want anyone going to her home. After all, the girl had plenty of pride. So I did not force her. I merely played dirty and said, "Fine, you do not have to let me take you. But you can only study until 6:30. The moment it is 6:30, you have to go home. I will stay in the classroom and keep an eye on you." Nianchu turned to look at me, gently biting her red lip with pearly teeth, her eyes full of resentment. "Then I will not study. I will go home now." I nodded with a smile. "That is more like it." Once she had packed her backpack, I headed for the classroom door. Then I heard movement from the platform again. I looked back. Nianchu was carefully wiping chalk dust off the podium, and she claimed she was not covering my classroom duties. She was doing every last bit of them. After cleaning the podium, she finally walked over with her backpack. Her head was lowered, and she hurried past me with an awkward expression. I chuckled and followed behind her. The phrase "an icy little girl with a stubbornly soft heart" suddenly took on a real-life form. Wheeling my bicycle, I walked with the girl to the school gate. We were about to go our separate ways, but I still patted the back seat of my bike. "How about I take you home after all? It is no trouble." Nianchu clutched her sleeve, looking at me with difficulty in her eyes. "No, thank you. My dad, if he sees some strange boy getting close to me, he will." Nianchu lowered her head, her voice barely above a murmur. "He will chase him down with a stick and beat him." "Your dad is that fierce?" Embarrassment flickered across Nianchu's face. Still clutching her sleeve, she nodded softly. Then she turned and walked in the opposite direction. "Hey, do you have no manners? You are going home after school without saying goodbye?" At that, Nianchu showed a rare smile on her cool, distant face. She said softly, "Bye-bye." I broke into a smile where I stood, my smile full of warm, fatherly tenderness. Watching the girl walk with a slight limp, though she seemed to be all right, I turned around, got on my bike without worry, and rode toward home. Hearing movement behind her, Nianchu promptly turned around too. She watched my retreating figure on the bicycle, standing there for a long while, until I disappeared into the crowd. Only then did she turn back. She looked toward the orange sunset at the horizon, lifting a hand to tuck her hair behind her ear. On her innocent face, gilded by the sunset, rested a faint smile. A blue backpack and a pink backpack gradually drifted apart outside Lucheng No. 7 High School. Across the street, flaky flatbreads and fried rice cake vendors called out, their cries lingering in the air. At that very moment, they seemed to sing of life at its quietest and sweetest. I will study hard. I will rise up and make something of myself. I will get into a Project 985 University, or a Project 111 University. Chen Huaian will be Lucheng's top Gaokao scorer. When I got home, I stood with one foot on a stool in the living room, pointing at the ceiling, and shouted grandly at my dad, Chen, and my mom, Xiao. I made my declaration with heroic resolve. Mom clapped adorably, but Chen, sitting at the table, snorted. He spat the sunflower seed shell from his mouth onto the floor. All of a sudden, I thought, my dad must have looked a little like Huaian when he was young, especially when he had just laughed at me. Chen looked at Xiao beside him, and spoke with undisguised mockery. "Look at that. Anyone ranked dead last in the grade loves dreaming dreams he cannot possibly achieve. Looks like my dream of leaving Bill Gates in the dust, of becoming the richest man alive, cannot be far off either." Xiao playfully smacked Chen Qian's shoulder. "How can you talk about your own son like that? Can you not encourage him for once? Chen snorted again, cracking sunflower seeds without a care. Sorry. I ranked second from last in the grade on last semester's final exam. That is an improvement. The sunflower seeds fell from Tian's hand. He stared over in shock. Seriously, son? I could not blame him for that reaction. I had ranked dead last in the grade for 2 straight years. Of course, it is true. Someone missed the exam. So naturally, I came second from last. Tian's smile froze. He casually tossed his sunflower seeds into the dish. Listening to this kid talk has cost me several more seconds of my life. Back in my day, on a 100-point test, I could score 37. And you, on a 150-point test, you could only score in the 20s. Each generation is worse than the last. I fell silent. It seemed I had found the reason I was so bad at studying. Chen waved a hand. Forget it. I am wasting my breath. I am going to check on the supermarket. Su Xiaoya asked in confusion. Is Annie Liu not there? Her grandson was born, so she quit and went home. The supermarket is short-staffed now. Hearing that, I had an idea. I quickly spoke up. Dad, I know someone who can take over Annie Liu's job. Who? My classmate. A student. A student. Then why bother? I hurriedly grabbed the old man's arm and pleaded. She can watch the supermarket after school in the evenings. Just pay her a little less. Chen considered it quietly. Makes sense. If the job distracts her from studying, you will have one less rival on the college entrance exam. Though I marveled at his bizarre logic, I still forced a smile and gave him a thumbs up. Dad, you really see the bigger picture. Chen proudly raised his chin. Naturally. Su Xiaoya silently shook her head. These father and son are hopeless. Chen smiled and patted my shoulder. Fine. Bring her to me tomorrow for an interview. After Dad left, I looked around the living room. Where is Chen Yidong? Su Xiaoya glanced at her daughter's bedroom door. Before you came home, your dad and I had just lectured her. Why? Su Xiaoya lowered her voice. Lately, your sister has been getting far too close to some fool at the gate of No. 65 middle school. Her teacher reported it. Your dad and I are worried she will get hurt. Just then, Chen Yidong's bedroom door suddenly flew open. The little girl popped out and shouted, Uncle Overalls is not a bad person. She stood in the doorway, wearing adorable pink pajamas covered in bears, her lips pouting with anger. Then she immediately slammed the door shut again. After Mom explained it again, I finally understood. It turned out that near my sister's middle school, namely, the gate of Lucheng No. 65 middle school, there was always a simple-minded middle-aged man wandering around. The students called him a fool. But when Chen Yidong called him Uncle Overalls, a memory suddenly came back to me. I went to No. 65 middle school too. When I was in middle school, that uncle everyone called a fool was already wandering outside the school gate. Though Uncle Overalls was simple-minded, he was handsome and always dressed neatly. He loved wearing blue overalls, which made him oddly endearing. But when I was in middle school, the other students loved picking on him. They either threw stones at him, smacked his back, then ran off laughing, or surrounded him and chanted mocking rhymes. Whenever that happened, Uncle Overalls never knew what to do. I could not stand it, so I would step in and tell them off. But I remember one girl from our school hated it even more. Once, she even grabbed a broom and charged at the boys bullying him, driving them away. In that moment, I thought she was incredibly cool. But I never knew her name. I only remember that she was skinny, with long, messy hair. It covered her face completely. Maybe because she took such good care of Uncle Overalls. He always smiled whenever he saw her, as if she were his own daughter. He would even dance around with joy. Staring at my sister's door, I suddenly fell silent. There had been a girl in middle school who fiercely protected Uncle Overalls. By now, she should have been in high school just like me. So Uncle Overalls had lost his protector. And my sister had taken that girl's place, inheriting her sense of justice. With that thought, I turned to Mom. Mom, I think you should find out what really happened before deciding whether to scold my sister. Su Xiaoya froze. I stood and walked toward my sister's room. Inside the 14-year-old girl's room, everything was utterly girlish. A pink bed, pink desk and chairs, and pink plush toys. The moment I stepped inside, it felt as if I had stepped into a sea of pink. What could I do? She was Mom and Dad's biological child. I was picked up from a trash can. Though as I remembered, Nianchu seemed to like pink too. Why did you come in? Chen Yidong sat on the edge of her bed, hugging a stuffed bear. Her little lips were pursed, her expression deeply unhappy. I leaned against the doorframe and smiled. Let me tell you a secret. When I was in middle school, I got along well with Uncle Overalls too. Really? That uncle was adorable, kind, and he never bullied anyone. But plenty of middle schoolers bullied him. So I protected him a few times. Chen Yidong looked at me in surprise. Her brother had been labeled a bad student since middle school, yet he actually had a kind side. She nodded. That is right. Uncle is a very good person. At noon today, I even saw a really pretty older girl, kindly sitting on the steps across the street, feeding him rice. I neither confirmed nor denied it. Instead, I reminded my sister, I support you protecting him. Your brother fully approves. But if you run into something you cannot handle, you have to tell me. I will be there right away. Understand? Chen Yidong smiled and nodded, swinging her pale little feet. At that moment, she suddenly felt her brother was not as annoying as before. After leaving my sister's room, I returned to my own room. I pulled a dust-covered cardboard box from beneath my bed. It held all my textbooks from freshman through sophomore year. Luckily, I had not sold them to the scrap collector. That was exactly the kind of thing I used to do. After organizing the textbooks, I carried them all to my desk. For everything from freshman to sophomore year, I was practically starting from zero. I had never paid attention in class. I vaguely remembered the comment teachers made most often about me. This kid is actually very smart, but he never puts his mind to studying. This time, I was damn well going to focus on studying. Let us see whether all that praise about me being smart had actually been sincere. But reading really made me sleepy. Half an hour later, wearing shorts, Chen Yidong, with her pale calves bare, carried a plate of fruit and pushed open her brother's door. Her sweet voice instantly became a terrified scream. Inside, I sat at my desk, with textbooks in front of me. A rope hung down from the ceiling, tight around my neck. I gagged and rolled my eyes, whimpering as if I were battling fate itself. The old trick of tying your hair to a rafter to stay awake. Lucheng No. 7 High School was considered one of Lucheng's second-tier elite high schools. The best high school was Lucheng No. 1 High School. Its teaching style was hands-off, yet an astonishing 90% entered top universities. Lucheng No. 7 High School, meanwhile, had extremely strict rules and a tightly controlled teaching model. Its top university admission rate stayed around 50%. The next day, I rode my bike to the school gate. In the past, I never arrived until morning study was over, but it was only 7 in the morning. Pushing my bike, I muttered to myself, with dark circles under my eyes and red rope marks around my neck. When I reached the school gate, just then, I spotted Shiyu being stopped by a teacher. Not wearing your uniform in the morning is bad enough, but your skirt, is that short too? Which class are you in? Shiyu lowered her head like a child caught misbehaving. Today, she wore a white t-shirt with a blue pleated skirt. Her smooth, pale legs drew every eye. I pretended not to see her and pushed my bike through the gate. Shiyu suddenly looked up. When she saw my back, she rubbed her eyes in disbelief. Did the sun rise in the west today? Huaian came this early. The bell rang for first period biology. Yifeng planted his handsome face on the desktop and began snoring. Meanwhile, I quietly slipped the buns I had bought into Lin Nianchu's desk. Do not argue. Eat them after class. But Lin Nianchu stared at my neck, wanting to speak, yet holding back. Do not worry. I studied till late last night, so I tied the rope around my neck to keep myself awake. At that, Lin Nianchu shot me an incredulous look. I was not worried. I smiled crookedly, closed my eyes, and laid my head on the desk. Listening now would be pointless. I had not built the basics. The lesson might as well have been gibberish. Resting my head served to purposes to recharge and to review what I learned yesterday. Lin Nianchu touched the warm buns and lightly pressed her lips together. While I was asleep, she secretly took 2 of them and put them into her plastic lunchbox. I had actually noticed, but I did not call her out. About 10 minutes later, I lifted my head, as if she had rehearsed it countless times. Lin Nianchu quickly turned around and formally confessed. I secretly ate 2 buns. So you ate them? Why report it to me? Lin Nianchu lowered her head awkwardly, then quickly turned back around. Her earlobes were bright red. It was obvious she was terrible at lying. But for the first time, I thought someone lying could be this adorable. Just then, at the front of the room, the biology teacher spoke. A normal resting heart rate is between 60 and 90 beats per minute. Do you know how a lie detector works? Pulse rate is one of its indicators. Now, with your desk mate, try checking each other's pulse. A pulse-based lie detector? Bored, I turned around, but Nianchu nervously tucked both hands behind her back and watched me warily. What are you doing? I will check yours. It was rare for Nianchu to take the initiative. Go ahead. I rolled up my sleeve and laid my arm on the desk. Nianchu reached out her hand and placed her pale fingertips over my pulse. Just then, a girl in the back suddenly cried out in delight. Teacher, Fang Yifeng has a pregnancy pulse. The whole class looked over. It was Fang Yifeng's desk mate, Chen. As I recalled, she was a die-hard fangirl, obsessed with G-Dragon. Her fingers were on Fang Yifeng's wrist, while he snored away, drooling. He had no idea he was supposedly pregnant. Ma Kiming eagerly added fuel to the fire. Whose is it? Is it yours, Princess Fi? Chen frowned. Get lost. The biology teacher's mouth twitched. Stop fooling around. I told you to test for lies, not pregnancy. The entire class groaned. The biology teacher smiled and said, Then hurry up and ask the person next to you a question. I said nonchalantly, Ask away. Do you like vegetables? So. Idiot. Can you ask something more interesting? Is there not anything you want to know about me? Ask whatever you want. Of course there was, but Nianchu did not dare ask. She gently shook her head. I turned my hand over and pinned Nianchu's soft hand beneath it. Then I assertively pushed up her sleeve, revealing a glimpse of her slender, fair wrist. Just as my fingertips were about to touch the clear blue vein, Nianchu nervously pulled her hand away. I glared at her. Are you nervous about hiding those buns? Or is it something else? Why will you not let me check your pulse? Because I will not. Then I will listen to your heartbeat. With that, I slowly moved my ear toward her chest. The girl nervously backed away, until her back pressed against the classroom wall, with nowhere left to retreat. Seeing that, I curled my lips into a smile. Shamelessly, I leaned even closer. Still, I knew where to draw the line. I did not actually press against her chest. I started asking questions. The girl stayed silent. I grinned like a villain and asked, Do you have a secret crush? At those words, Nianchu's ears instantly turned crimson. Her beautiful eyes went wide, and she awkwardly looked away. She immediately said, How boring. Of course not. I chuckled, then listened closely. But I frowned. Maybe the class was too noisy, or maybe I was too far away. But I could not hear her heartbeat at all. The biology teacher clapped her hands. All right. Did everyone verify it? I stood up helplessly. Nope. I looked at Nianchu. Judging by how shy she was, she probably did have one. Then again, maybe not. During school years, that question, by itself, could make any teenager feel embarrassed. Morning classes ended, and lunchtime soon arrived. Shiyu, dressed in a pleated skirt, swayed her slim waist as she walked to the back row. Chen Huaian, you can eat with me today, right? No, I am studying. This time, I really am studying. I took out my 10th grade textbooks and spread them across my desk. Shiyu stomped her foot in anger. Who are you trying to fool? With your grades, what is there even to study? You are deliberately trying to spite me, aren't you? Hearing that, Nianchu gave Shiyu a frosty look before lowering her head and continuing to study. I slapped the desk and pointed to the classroom door. If you know what is good for you, leave. Do not make me throw you out. Shiyu looked so wrong she was about to cry. Her best friend quickly pulled her away. After everyone else left the classroom, only Nianchu and I remained. As we sat there, Nianchu turned and noticed that I really was studying seriously. I even used different colored pens to make notes in my graffiti-covered textbooks. She could not help smiling, but the moment I looked over, she immediately turned away and awkwardly flipped through her book. Time ticked by. When Nianchu's usual lunch hour arrived, she stood up. I stood too and stretched. That was such a productive study session. The cafeteria has probably run out of food. Nianchu ignored me. With her backpack on, she silently left the classroom. I followed behind at an unhurried pace. At the cafeteria counter, I stared in surprise at the short-haired cafeteria lady. She charged Nianchu 7 cents for plain rice, but charged me 28 cents. I licked my lips, fuming with anger. Ma'am. The short-haired cafeteria lady looked at me coldly. What? Nothing. You look lovely today. I walked over to Lin Nianchu's table and sat across from her. The girl looked up at me, then lowered her head and took small bites of rice from my backpack. I set all the snacks from the supermarket on the table. I knew we would study till late for any food, so I brought snacks. I took out a chicken leg, a braised egg, and sausage, unwrapped them, and put them on my tray. But just as I was about to eat, I stopped. What is wrong with me today? I do not have much of an appetite. Have I eaten these snacks too often? So I took her tray and put my snack-filled tray in front of her. Forget it. Let us switch meals today. Lin Nianchu looked up in surprise. I quickly pointed a finger at her. Lin Nianchu stared at me blankly, her lips pressed together, too afraid to speak. I lowered my head and started eating. The girl silently watched me eat from the same spot on the tray where she had eaten. Her long lashes fluttered. So good. Why does your rice taste better than mine? I said blissfully, wearing a smug, punchable grin. But Lin Nianchu did not want to hit me at all. She quietly picked up her chopsticks. In a tiny voice, she said, "Thank you." I pretended not to hear her. After a while, I finished every grain of rice on my tray. Then I said, "Oh, right? My family's supermarket needs a cashier at night. I am officially informing you now. You are hired." Lin Nianchu looked up in surprise again. I still pointed at her imperiously. "Your pay will be half that of a regular employee. If you say one word of complaint or refuse, you know what I mean." Lin Nianchu looked at me quietly. Then she sat up straight, very seriously, and nodded as though addressing her boss. "I have no complaints. I accept." "Good." Lin Nianchu happily lowered her head and continued eating. She ate only one braised egg, then half the rice. Then she took out a lunchbox and set it on her lap. She poured the remaining rice from her tray, the chicken leg, the braised egg, and the sausage, into the lunchbox. I stared, dumbfounded. "What are you doing?" "Taking it to my father." I could not believe what I had just heard. It was impossible to make sense of. "Wait, you mean you are leaving school now to take this food to him?" Lin Nianchu nodded gently, seeing that I seemed to disapprove. She set her chopsticks aside and silently stopped putting food into the lunchbox. She sat there stiffly, looking a little embarrassed, as though waiting for me to take back the snacks or give her another non-negotiable order, because she understood that I had given the food to her out of kindness, not for her father. I had long had a problem with Lin Nianchu's father. What kind of father was he? Not only had he driven his own daughter to steal bread from the supermarket, he even made her bring him food from the cafeteria. A nameless fury rose from the depths of my heart. If not for Lin Nianchu's pride, I would have gone to his home to settle things with him. His daughter was so beautiful, and such an excellent student. If she were my daughter, I would have spoiled her rotten. I took a deep breath. I was utterly frustrated, so I slammed my hand on the table and cursed. Damn it. The two trays jumped from the impact. Lin Nianchu flinched in fright. She raised her head and gave me a timid look. Then, without warning, the tears fell from her eyes. She whispered, "I am sorry." After apologizing, Lin Nianchu quickly raised her sleeve and wiped away her tears. Then she picked the snacks out of the lunchbox, put them back on the tray, and pushed it toward me. I was completely baffled. "What are you doing now?" Lin Nianchu lowered her head. "I am full already. Thank you for giving me this food. I truly appreciate it." So I would not think she was sulking. Lin Nianchu raised her face and gave me a strained smile that looked worse than crying. That girl had me so exasperated I almost laughed. I pushed the tray back. "No, I never said you could not take it to your dad. But could you at least eat the chicken leg? Give him the rest. I am really stuffed. I truly cannot eat another bite." I suddenly wanted to pinch the spot beneath my nose. I was furious. So angry my brain felt deprived of blood. Forget it. There was no reasoning with her. The girl was devoted to her father. That was a good thing. The only one to blame was her father. I got my emotions under control. Fine. Let him have it. I agree. Pack up the lunchbox." Lin Nianchu quietly looked up to check my expression. I pulled hard at the corners of my mouth, forcing out a friendly smile, to show that I did not mind. Only then did the girl relax and put the snacks back into the lunchbox. She placed it in a plastic bag, then put it in her backpack. After standing, she gave me a small bow. "Thank you. Do not call me a good person." I repeated it silently, expressionless. Lin Nianchu did not say it. Watching her leave the cafeteria, I let out a long sigh. After leaving the gates of Lucheng No. 7 Middle School, Nianchu turned left and quickened her pace. She had not lied to me yesterday. Her home really was quite close to the school. It was near Lucheng No. 65 Middle School, but with her backpack on, Nianchu did not head home. Instead, she went to the gates of Lucheng No. 65 Middle School, where she had once attended junior high. After crossing the street, Nianchu spotted someone from afar. A middle-aged man in blue overalls sat beside the landscape strip across from the school. He sat perfectly upright, his back ramrod straight, like an elementary student paying close attention in class. His eyes were fixed on the school gates, as if afraid of missing someone at dismissal. At the sight, a smile appeared on Nianchu's usually distant face. She hurried over, her backpack bouncing behind her. While the middle-aged man was not paying attention, she crept closer on tiptoe, as though she had returned to childhood, becoming that mischievous little girl again. Step by step, she quietly approached him, then swiftly tapped his shoulder. The middle-aged man spun around abruptly. His handsome face looked from side to side, but he saw no one, so he turned back around. Then a sweet, innocent smile bloomed before him like a flower. "Dad," Nianchu called with a smile. "Nian." The middle-aged man looked at his daughter and happily called her name, but the next moment, he looked like a child who had done something wrong. He hurriedly stood up, lowered his head, and kept apologizing. I am sorry. I did not see Nian get out of school," he muttered repeatedly. His tone was childish, like that of a 5 or 6-year-old. All 10 fingers twisted nervously, his face full of hurt. Nianchu quickly helped him sit down. She reassured him, saying Nian runs fast. Because Nian ran fast, so Dad did not see her. Nian runs really fast. Dad cannot catch her. The handsome middle-aged man repeated his daughter's words like a toddler learning to speak. Nianchu looked at him tenderly. Then she took a lunchbox and clean chopsticks from her backpack. Time to eat, time to eat. The man braced both hands on the steps and swung his legs like a child. Nianchu did not feed him right away. She took out a tissue and a cup of water, pouring water onto the tissue to dampen it. Then she wiped the dirt from the man's face, gently scolding him. How did you get your face all dirty again? Nian, I am sorry. The man said miserably. It is okay. Nian is not mad. She opened the lunchbox, wrapped a tissue around the chicken leg's bone, and handed it to her dad. Chicken leg. The man cried excitedly, but he did not reach out to take it. He looked anxiously at Nianchu and urged her. Nian, hurry and eat. The bad guys are coming after us. I already ate. I had to. Dad, hurry and eat. The bad guys are coming after us. Nianchu played along with him. Then she picked up some rice with her chopsticks and held it to his lips. The man opened his mouth wide, made an awu sound, and ate the rice. Then he took a huge bite of the chicken leg. He ate with great delight, swinging his legs excitedly. Is it good? It is good. It is good. Did Nian eat? He had forgotten what she had just told him. Nianchu patiently repeated herself, her voice as sweet as a children's song. I ate. I had to. The chicken legs were delicious. Just then, at the gates of Lucheng No. 65 Middle School, a little girl with short hair suddenly skipped out of the school. She held a freshly bought pineapple bun in her hand and was about to cross the street, but she spotted that pretty older sister sitting there again, feeding Uncle overalls. Chen Yidong watched for a while and smiled. Then, clutching her pineapple bun, she skipped back into the school. All right then. Today, this older sister had once again beaten her to feeding Uncle overalls. A little after 1 in the afternoon, Nianchu returned to class with her backpack. She found me already at my desk, reading and studying. For once, she smiled and greeted me first. Good afternoon. I turned around in alarm, studying her as if I had seen a ghost. Nianchu grew uncomfortable under my stare. What? Did hell freeze over? The aloof rude girl actually greeted me first. Nianchu said nothing. Looking embarrassed, she set down her backpack and took out her textbook. I casually asked, So, did your esteemed father enjoy his meal? Nianchu's voice was full of happiness. I turned to look at the faint smile playing at the corners of her lips. So that is why you are so happy this afternoon. Nianchu stared at me blankly and nodded dazedly. I scoffed. I honestly did not know what else to say. but she was devoted to her father. How could I blame her for that? I told her, after evening study hall, come to the supermarket with me. My dad will be waiting for you there. He wants to interview you. Nianchu turned to me, shock written across her pretty face. I raised an eyebrow. Do not be nervous. My dad's got a screw loose, but he is easygoing enough. He will not deliberately make things hard for you. Only then did Nianchu relax. It was her first interview. She truly had no idea how to handle it. Why would you say that about your own father? Nianchu asked softly. What? A screw loose? My expression turned strange. I do not just say it about him. I will say it about your dad too. Your dad's got a screw loose. The moment I said it, a small but powerful fist suddenly slammed hard into my chest. Unlike her previous harmless punches, this one genuinely hurt. I looked at Nianchu in surprise and saw her glaring at me with reddened eyes. Tears slowly gathered in their corners. But soon, Nianchu looked away, her emotions conflicted. She knew I did not understand the full situation. I am sorry. Nianchu apologized. Silence fell between us. I rubbed my chest and took a deep breath. All right, I should apologize too. I am sorry. I know you care deeply about your father. I should not have said that about him. Nianchu turned her head away, so I would not see her tears fall. At that moment, her nose stung, and she felt unbearably wronged, as though my words had, after all these years, unleashed every grievance she had buried in her heart. The shadows of the past had weighed on her until she could barely breathe. But Nianchu had never given up. She believed she was strong. Yet, when the boy beside her spoke words meant to comfort her, she finally realized that she had only been pretending to be strong all along. At that moment, the strength she had forced herself to show fell apart at once. Behind the curtain of her hair, the girl's tears burst free. I could not help saying, I really do not know what is going on with your family. If there are special reasons behind your dad's behavior. Nianchu immediately cut me off. My dad is perfectly normal. All right, I nodded. Taking the hint, I shut my mouth. It was clear she did not want to discuss it. But if Nianchu defended her father this fiercely, maybe he was not a complete jerk after all. Maybe there was another reason. Throughout the afternoon classes, Nianchu was very quiet. I wanted to talk to her, but seeing her frosty expression, I abandoned the idea. But during evening study hall, something happened that caught the entire school by surprise. The teachers supervising class 28 that evening was their English teacher, Yuan. Ma Kiming was not doing his homework. Instead, he was leering at Yuan on the podium. But, as he watched, everything before him went dark. The entire classroom was plunged into darkness. The students cried out in surprise and turned toward the windows. The whole campus had gone black. Gao Qiang truly knew how to stir things up. He immediately roared, "Holy crap, the power is out." The whole school lost power. The students of class 28 instantly erupted into howls and shrieks. Every kind of troublemaker came out to play. When Yuan was young, after all, she could not handle the chaos before her. All she could do was keep pounding on the podium. Quiet, everyone, get back to your seats. Just then, a scream rang out. Who touched my leg? Pervert. Gross. When Yuan's face turned livid, because the scream had come from a boy, he was obviously stirring up trouble on purpose. She slumped onto her chair in resignation. This chaotic class was beyond her control. The boys and girls all had their own private thoughts. They cheered excitedly, hoping for some romantic moment to happen to them. Maybe someone would suddenly take their hand, or suddenly kiss them on the cheek. In a teen romance drama, the heroine would definitely have a fear of the dark, so the hero could show how protective he was. And sure enough, a thud came from the window-side corner at the back of the classroom. I had dropped to my knees. I never expected this damned fear of the dark to be the one thing that happened to me. Had I somehow gotten the heroine's script? When I was 6, back in my rural hometown, I went outside in the dark to use the bathroom and fell into a pitch-black dry well. In that lightless well, I sat there all night. My dad, who had a screw loose, thought his son was sleeping soundly in his room, while he held his wife and dreamed sweet dreams. That is why, all these years, I have always slept with the light on. Kneeling there now, my chest felt tight, and panic gripped me. It felt as if tentacles were reaching for me from every direction. Then a voice, like heavenly music, sounded beside me. Chen Huaian, the aloof girl who had ignored me all afternoon, called my name in panic. A school-wide blackout. In the middle of evening study hall, was absolutely wild, even years, even decades later. Whatever happened in that darkness would surely remain, a vivid chapter in everyone's memories of youth. Out in the hallway, Gray Director Chow swept his flashlight around, his angry shouts ringing out now and then. Who is hiding there? Get back to your own class. Do not run. What are you two, a boy and a girl, doing in that corner? Which class are you from? Listening to the shouting outside, Wan sighed. She gave up and remained at the podium, but suddenly, her body stiffened. She sighed. A shadow flashed before her eyes, and someone had touched her calf. English teacher, when Wan shot to her feet. Terrified, she scurried toward the office. Her high heels clicked sharply. This class was beyond her control. Whoever wanted to manage them could do it. Half kneeling on the floor, I slowly raised a hand. I could barely catch my breath. An overpowering foot odor filled the air. The Biohazard brothers must have taken off their shoes in the chaos. Darkness, oppression, tension, stench. Every kind of torment came crashing down on me. Fear of the dark was a psychological illness that plagued me even into my 30s. Chen Huaian, the aloof girl, cried out anxiously beside my ear. My mind suddenly cleared for a moment. A delicate fragrance drifted from beside me. In the darkness, I could vaguely make out Nianchu crouching beside me. Are you afraid of the dark? She quickly asked. I had not expected the girl to seem so experienced, seeing straight through my condition at a glance. Before I could recover, Nianchu immediately helped me up. Once I was on my feet, a warm, soft little hand slipped into my palm. Come with me. Her voice was gentle, even carrying a hint of the way one comforts a child. She led me from the front, and I obediently followed. I did not know why, but even before we left that darkness, walking with a warm hand holding mine made me feel far less afraid. If, 12 years ago, at the bottom of that dry well, someone had held my hand like this, then I believe that night would not have been so frightening. Nianchu led me out of the corridor, down the stairs, and straight to an open area on the field. The full moon hung bright and beautiful in the night sky, scattering silver flecks across the grass-covered field. It was still very dark around us, but looking at the glowing moon, I felt much better. My body went limp as I lay on the field's grass, drenched in a cold sweat. Nianchu glanced at me, wanting to keep protecting this boy. She silently sat beside me, wrapping her arms gently around her legs. People with a fear of the dark cannot stay in cramped, dark, poorly ventilated places. Seeing something bright helps a lot. With that, she smiled and pointed at the moon. Beneath the radiant moonlight, the girl's pure smile was breathtakingly beautiful, like a pure white angel. She did not actually want to smile, but I needed comfort. As if to ease my mood, Nianchu took the initiative to start another conversation. But, Chen Huaiyan, did you know? The moon does not produce light itself. It reflects the sun's light. What an obscure, boring topic. Nianchu pressed her lips together and quietly turned her head away. Silence settled between us. After all, we had just argued that afternoon. How do you know these symptoms so well? My dad is afraid of the dark too. He has to sleep with the nightlight on. She spoke softly, but her tone was subdued. It was probably because the topic was her dad, that we had been giving each other the cold shoulder just hours ago. So that was it. I folded my arms beneath my head and recalled Nianchu's childlike soothing tone. Had she gotten used to comforting her dad? Maybe because I shared the same problem as her father. I suddenly felt much less hostility toward the man. After all, we had endured the same pain. Hey, school beauty, are you still mad at me? Nianchu sat there, hugging her legs. She looked like a tiny little bundle, like a dumpling. She stayed silent. Say something. She turned and quietly glanced at me, but kept her mouth shut. Fine. Looks like she was still angry. Then an idea came to me. Not long after, Nianchu heard a low sound beside her. When she turned around, she found me curled up like a shrimp, my entire body trembling. Chen Huaiyan, what is wrong? Nianchu went pale. She hurried over, grasped my shoulders, and tried to straighten me up. Once she got me upright, my forehead was covered in sweat, but it was actually sweat from earlier. My lips trembled, and I raised a shaking hand to clutch Nianchu's arm. I am so scared. Scared? Nianchu echoed the word anxiously. For a moment, she did not know what to do. Then she quickly looked up at the moon. With no other option, she immediately helped me sit up. I was a broad-built teenager, and she had to use all her strength. Then she shifted backward, letting my upper body rest in her arms. She reached out with both little hands and quickly turned my head straight. Chen Huaian, look at the moon. How can I possibly care about the moon right now? Behind me, she was soft and smelled so sweet. Even if the moon goddess herself were up there, I would not give a damn about looking. Trembling, I scooted back a little. A gentle breeze blew from behind me, carrying a sweet fragrance through the air. I felt like I was floating. Feeling better? I am so scared. Still scared. Nianchu looked around anxiously. She was about to get up and borrow a flashlight when I suddenly grabbed her arm. Nianchu, I am here. The girl quickly turned back, looking at her worried face. I spoke in a pitiful voice. Are you still angry with me? No, I am not angry with you. I was only mad for that 1 second. I see. Before Nianchu's stunned gaze, I picked my nose and calmly sat up. Do not worry. I am fine. Seeing the girl stare blankly without reacting, as if to prove I was truly fine, I smiled and gave her a shameless Mongolian shoulder shimmy. I am really fine. See, full of energy. Nianchu's face turned cold again. Furious, she immediately shoved both hands against my chest. Hey, you. My eyes went wide. As I fell back, I desperately grabbed her arm. Nianchu cried out in alarm. The force of my fall pulled her forward. She landed fearfully on my chest. Her beautiful eyes stared into mine at close range, full of shock. Each of our eyes reflected the other. Just then, the lights at all four corners of the field blazed on at once. The power was back. The red rubber track, the green lawn, were laid bare beneath the glaring lights. But what shocked us was that we were not the only two people on the field. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of couples stood frozen in place. Some were holding hands, some were walking side by side, and some stood face to face. But not many were caught in a pose as wild as ours. 6 stern-faced middle-aged men stood nearby. They slowly made their way onto the track, switching off their flashlights in unison. They were the head and deputy grade directors from all 3 grades. Chow shouted, "Everyone, stay where you are. Do not move. Behave yourselves." One by one, give me your names and classes as if anyone would listen. Every student on the field erupted into chaos. Under the harsh lights, they scattered in every direction. I quickly wrapped one arm around Nianchu's slender waist, pushed myself up with the other, and gently set her on the ground like a doll. Then I grabbed her arm and ran with the crowd. For a model student like Nianchu, getting caught would be trouble. Calling her parents would be the lightest punishment. Even though we were innocent, I was sure that if I explained to Chow that I was afraid of the dark, that old bastard would only throw back his head and howl. He would never believe me. You dare run. Get them. Chow screeched shrilly, yet hobbled after us at a leisurely pace. Every so often, he clutched his backside. Ow, my hemorrhoids. Amid the fleeing crowd, Nianchu panted heavily, unable to look away from my broad back. She could not stop thinking about what had just happened. It had only lasted a few seconds, but it had left both of her delicate earlobes burning red. Even now, I looked back. Nianchu lifted her head and met my eyes. I flashed her a bright smile. Then I turned back and kept running. At last, we escaped into the hallway outside Class 28 of our senior year. 3 or 4 couples had been caught. That made me ridiculously happy. It was the smug joy of surviving a close call. As we headed toward the classroom, Nianchu suddenly stopped and called out, "Chen Huaian, what is it? I will go in first. Wait 3 minutes before you come in. You really thought this through. Fine, you go ahead." Head lowered, Nianchu hurried past me. I went to the restroom, then returned to class. When Yuan stood at the podium, her expression stormy. In a rare show of anger, she slammed a hand on it. "What is wrong with all of you? The power goes out, and you all decide to let loose." The entire class fell silent. Everyone looked a little guilty. Our homeroom teacher, Zhou Zheng, stood in the doorway. Her beast-like gaze swept over everyone. When Yuan scanned the class, trying to find the culprit, then she spotted Ma Qiming in the corner. The class academic representative was solemnly staring at the homework before him, looking utterly righteous, almost suspiciously righteous. When Yuan looked away, Ma Qiming looked like such an upright kid. It could not possibly be him. Zhou Zheng took over at the podium and slammed it hard. "You have all got some nerve. Gao Qiang, bring your parents in tomorrow. Gao Qiang rose to his feet, looking utterly hopeless. Fang Yifeng sat at his desk, for once not asleep. He chewed on a finger, his handsome face as intent as Sherlock Holmes, studying everyone within 5 meters of him. Chen Fei had just beaten Ma Qiming up, but he refused to confess, no matter what. Someone else had kissed her. He turned to look at his deskmate, Chen Fei, and noticed the starstruck girl had cheeks as red as a beet. What is wrong with you? Do you have a fever? Drink plenty of water. That ended the conversation. Fang Yifeng continued surveying the room. She suspected Liu Bunning was the one who had kissed her. Meanwhile, Zhou Zheng reprimanded several more students, one by one. In the end, Nianchu and I got off without trouble. We were both secretly pleased, though for different reasons. Because of the outage, evening study hall ended early. After Nianchu packed her bag, she followed me to the bike shed. I asked, "You have an interview coming up. Are you nervous?" Nianchu nodded at once. "What are you nervous about?" "Just picture my dad's head as a giant turnip. Whatever he says, just nod and smile. Just say yes." Nianchu lowered her head, the corners of her lips twitching, as though I had amused her. I like seeing her smile. She was simply beautiful when she smiled. Too bad she always wore that cold expression. I wheeled my bike outside and found her silently walking away with her backpack. I looked at her in surprise. "You have a ride, and you are walking?" I patted the rear seat of my bicycle, looking at the thick crowd by the school gate. Nianchu stood there blankly, her small hand nervously clutching her uniform pants. She stubbornly shook her head. Before I could ask why, Nianchu turned away with shy eyes, both hands gripping her backpack straps. She lowered her head and silently walked ahead. Then I understood. She was embarrassed. There were too many eyes at the school gate, and if someone recognized Nianchu and saw the ice-cold school beauty riding on the back of my bike, the whole school would know by tomorrow. Then I remembered that another girl had once secretly pushed Nianchu down the stairs. I could not help thinking I had been too careless. Nianchu had a reputation at school. If someone wanted to bully her, someone would surely spread rumors about her too. I pushed my bicycle, deliberately slowing my pace, and kept a wide distance behind Nianchu. Once she noticed my considerate gesture, her tense heart eased a little. The boy and girl kept 10 to 20 meters between them, walking one behind the other. Nianchu looked back from time to time. To make sure I was still behind her, I would tilt my head and smile at her. After we turned a few corners, there were no students left in sight. I got on my bicycle and rode up beside her. "Hop on. No one will see us now." Sure enough, Nianchu obediently walked around, rose onto her tiptoes, and sat sideways on the back seat. "If you do not hold on to me, you will definitely fall off." At those words, Nianchu's long lashes lifted. She slowly extended a fair little hand, as furtively as a thief, and lightly pinched my school jacket between her fingers. I was speechless, so I immediately pedaled off. Nianchu instantly lost her balance, letting out a muffled cry. She quickly threw her arms around me and tightly hugged my waist. Her pink nails turned white from how tightly she held on. No one could see us anyway. There is nothing between us anyway. What is wrong with holding my waist on a bike? The little thoughts hidden deep in the girl's heart were, of course, beyond me. Nianchu lowered her head, her ears burning red. Her arms remained wrapped around me. If someone else had been riding the bike, Nianchu might not have cared so much. But the person in front of her was Chen Huaian. She never could have imagined. During 10-minute breaks between classes, she only had the chance to gaze blankly at him. Yet now, he was giving her a ride, hidden from everyone's eyes. Once her shyness faded, a rare, happy smile touched the girl's lips. How wonderful it would be if the world stopped at this moment. She allowed herself that selfish wish. But Nianchu knew happiness could belong to anyone, just never to her. She was someone chosen by misfortune. She always had been. I softly hummed a Jaichu song as I pedaled, leisurely heading toward my family's large supermarket. Nianchu looked up curiously. "What song are you singing?" "It is a Jaichu song. I have never heard that one." I turned my head slightly, remembering it seemed to have been released in 2014, but this was 2010. I smiled wistfully. I had almost forgotten that I had been reborn. In this second life, my first wish was to attend a good university, to make up for never going to college in my previous life. I thought of all those rebirth novels, where everyone threw themselves into starting businesses, all exactly the same. Even after being reborn, they still spent all their energy making money. What is the true point of being reborn? First, you get your youth back. Only second comes the chance to make money. My main reason for being reborn is to enjoy my youth. Of course, I cannot ignore making money either, but that can wait until I graduate from high school. It would be wonderful if Lin Nianchu and I got into the same university, but that was probably just wishful thinking. Lin Nianchu was destined to aim for Tsinghua or Peking University. Suddenly, I slammed on the brakes. Lin Nianchu jumped in fright, crashing into my back. The softness against my back thrilled me for a moment. Then I pulled myself together and stared solemnly at the red light across the intersection. I made a bold declaration. Lin Nianchu. Yes, I do not want to be last in class. I am going to study hard. I am going to get into a good university. Beside the crosswalk, passers-by turned to stare at us. I will do my best to tutor you. Then, the light is green. Go, quickly. For the first time, she wanted to hit me because I was being so ridiculously outgoing. After winding through the streets, we finally reached the supermarket. For Season's Fresh supermarket was already one of the larger markets in the Wangjiang Road area. After Lin Nianchu got off, I parked my bicycle outside the entrance and asked her to wait outside while I went in to speak to him first. The girl obediently nodded where she stood, but her fingers kept twisting her sleeves, giving away how nervous she was. This time, she was not just meeting the boss, she was also meeting Chen Huaian's father. Though she knew, meeting his father should not mean anything to her, she was still unbearably nervous. I went into the supermarket and saw Chen Tian holding a notebook, checking the products on the shelves, and jotting something down. Dad, I shouted. Chen Tian jumped in fright. When Dad turned around, his face looked so much like Wei Zhang's that I could not help laughing. I brought her. Just explain things briefly. Do not ask too many questions. All right, let me see which poor kid is about to have their studies disrupted. Father and son went outside. Lin Nianchu, waiting at the entrance, immediately turned around. Her long, curled lashes trembled lightly. She greeted him in a nervous voice. Chen Tian's smile stiffened. He had barely managed to say, "Good," when he grabbed my arm and dragged me back into the store. You little brat. Where the hell did you find such a pretty, sweet-looking girl? I thought she was a boy. Are you not afraid her father will come after you? She is my deskmate. Chen Tian promptly flicked my forehead. That girl clearly looks like a refined young lady from a good family. How could she possibly need money? Did you trick her into something? As he spoke, he started taking off his shoe to hit me. My muscle memory kicked in, and I quickly twisted aside to dodge. I did not trick her. She volunteered. Chen Tian rushed at me furiously. That still will not do. Tell her to leave. Do not get me into so much trouble I cannot even keep this store open. He kicked me in the butt, sending me out of the supermarket. I stumbled out of the supermarket in an embarrassingly flamboyant pose, right through the store entrance. I scratched my head awkwardly. Chen Huaian, I should go home now. She lowered her head, her lips pulling into an unnatural smile, then turned and walked into the darkness. Her sudden reaction caught me off guard. I hurried after her and caught her arm. Wait. The girl was forced to turn sideways, hiding her red-rimmed eyes beneath her hair. Still, she forced a very unnatural smile. It is getting late. My dad will worry if he cannot find me. She must have heard us arguing inside, though probably not clearly. She only knew that father and son were fighting. The girl had always been sensitive and insecure. She had come here already nervous and hopeful, but the moment she heard the argument, she blamed herself for it. I glanced back at the supermarket, without releasing her arm, and spoke seriously. Wait a little longer. Just a little while. If you dare leave, I will not go easy on you. Do not argue. A real man never solves problems by arguing. With that, I walked to the supermarket entrance. I kicked the door open. Chen Qian turned around from beside the register. Are you trying to kill me? I held up for fingers, staring seriously at my father. Let her work here, and on this monthly exam, I will place in the top 40 of the class. Hearing that, Chen Tian's anger faded. Instead, he narrowed his eyes and studied me with interest. Then he slapped his notebook onto the counter. Top 30. My eyebrows shot up in surprise. No. Top 35, at most. Top 30. Chen Qian excitedly pointed at me. He grinned and said, Deal. You tricked me. You old bastard. Chen glared and started taking off his shoe. I quickly made a tactical retreat. Fine. Top 35 it is. If you do not make the top 35, that girl is out. I mean what I say. There were 53 students in the class. Making the top 35 meant climbing at least 500 places in the entire grade, and I only had a little over a month. Just as I was about to bring Lin Nianchu inside, Chen Qian's voice sounded behind me. You like her? I turned back in surprise. A guy like you? You think she could ever like you? Even if you go this far for her, she will never spare you a second glance. Give it up. I scoffed. I ignored him completely. My feelings for Lin Nianchu had always been pure. I treated her like a daughter. Did he take me for some lovesick fool? Outside the supermarket, Lin Nianchu had obediently stayed put, but instead of standing beneath the light by the entrance, she was now standing in a pitch-black corner. Her figure was slender, lonely, and alone. It seemed that with one gust of night wind, the girl would melt completely into the darkness and vanish. The sight made my heart ache. I spoke up anyway. What are you doing standing there? Trying to scare me? Lin Nianchu hurried out. I was about to speak, but noticed the tears she had not fully wiped from the corners of her eyes. No, a customer came by just now, so I stepped aside. I took her arm and led her into the supermarket, bringing her before Chen Qian. Come with me, kid. I will show you around first, Chen Qian said. He glanced at Lin Nianchu's pink backpack, as if he had realized something, but did not expose it. Lin Nianchu obediently followed behind him, taking a notebook and pen from her backpack, ready to listen attentively. Chen Qian looked at her with amusement. No need. There is nothing that important. Besides, you could only come by briefly at night, right? Yes. The two of them walked ahead, while I followed behind, like a father watching his well-behaved daughter. I watched Lin Nianchu's back, with a faint smile. As they walked, Chen Qian explained what she needed to do. The work was light and minimal, but Lin Nianchu still carefully took notes. Basically, stock the shelves, take payments at the register, and clean up when it is quiet at night. Remember to keep the fresh meat section refrigerated. After saying that, he looked at the trash beside him, then glanced at me. Clean that up later. Why do you not clean it yourself? Why wait for me to do it? I am the boss. After making a full round, the three of us returned to the register. Chen Qian put on his coat. Teach your classmate how to handle payments. I am heading home first. After Chen Qian left, I said to Lin Nianchu, take a look around and get familiar with the place. I will write down a few things to keep in mind. A few minutes later, after I finished writing, I looked up and saw Chen Qian had come back. Damn it, I forgot my bag. I ignored him, but after a while, I noticed him standing there blankly, staring in one direction, worried that something had happened to Lin Nianchu. I hurried over. When I reached Chen Qian's side, father and son were both stunned. Between two shelves, the girl was kneeling on the floor, using a rag she had found somewhere to carefully wipe the floor. Her figure was quiet and still, and she worked with care and focus, silently doing what she believed she should. Watching this, Chen Qian looked deeply moved. Then he turned away and murmured, who exactly is she? I took a deep breath and replied with mixed feelings. She is a good kid. Chen Qian glanced at me and said quietly, if you do not make the top 35, she is still out. No arguments. With that, he took his bag and left. You heartless old man. This time, I would make the top 35 and prove him wrong, even if it were not for Lin Nianchu. For the college entrance exam, I had to start working hard now. I only had 1 year to use a brain that had rusted for 15 years, to make up for 2 years of missed knowledge. Time was short, and the task was enormous. But when it came to studying hard, unlike my previous life, I did not resist it this time. I knew exactly what I wanted in this life. I walked over to the girl scrubbing the floor. Hey, Lin Nianchu turned around, slowly rising to her feet. Holding the dirty rag, she looked at me in confusion. Her calm expression told me she did not think kneeling on the floor to clean was a big deal. I stepped in front of her and could not help raising my hand, poking her smooth, fair forehead. Are you stupid? There is a mop, yet you kneel down and scrub with a rag. Lin Nianchu closed her eyes and drew her head back. She looked up at me with slightly aggrieved eyes. I only found a rag. I bent down and brushed the dust from her knees. Even so, you did not need to handle it yourself. Lin Nianchu shyly stepped back. Uncle said, I could do some cleaning when it was quiet at night. You are talking back to me now? I pointed at her with a stern expression. Nianchu thought I was going to poke her forehead again. Her neck instinctively pulled back, and she shut her eyes in fright. But I did not. Throw the rag away. It is filthy. Throw it away. Throw it at my face. Nianchu lowered her head. Her cheeks flushed bright red from my scolding. In the end, she gently dropped the rag on the floor. Come with me. As we passed a small door, I pointed to it and said, that is the supply closet. Go wash your hands first. Then come find me at the register. After washing her hands, Nianchu came to the register. She saw me taking red banknotes from the drawer. 5 in total. Come on, hold out your hands. Nianchu stared blankly without holding them out. I explained. It is a supermarket tradition. We pay wages in advance at the start of every month. All employees get it this way. Just as I finished speaking, an employee, untying her apron, headed for the door. I am heading out now. Boss Chen. I quickly hid the 500 yuan under the counter. I nodded to the employee. All right, get home safe. After she left, Nianchu seemed to see through everything. Her lovely eyes fixed on me quietly. I rapped the counter, scolding her. What is that look for? Think it is not enough. Nianchu lowered her head and quietly said, I do not want an advance. I want to be paid at the same time as everyone else. I slapped the counter and pointed at her. You dare defy your boss? Want me to fire you? Nianchu looked up. Her beautiful eyes remained utterly calm. As they quietly watched me, her expression seemed to say, is that all? I spoke hurriedly. Looks like you want my dad to find out too. What you did that day. At that, panic flashed across Nianchu's little face. She immediately took the 500 yuan and clutched it tightly to her chest. I smiled. You work fewer hours, so your minimum monthly pay is 500 yuan. If you do well, I might even give you a raise. As I said that, I leaned toward her. Of course, if you can find some way to please your boss, then a raise would be easy to discuss. Hearing that, Nianchu's earlobes instantly turned scarlet. She raised her other hand to clutch the 500 yuan against her chest. She looked a little nervous and a little embarrassed and annoyed. What are you thinking? I got up and sat on the counter, then could not help ruffling her hair. I mean, you should smile more. That is one way to please your boss and help tutor me. Nianchu immediately looked up and answered earnestly. I will definitely tutor you. Obviously, that is your job. Remember to come to my house this Saturday. Oh, right? What will you do with your first real earnings? I pointed at the 500 yuan she held to her chest. Nianchu understood and hurriedly held out both hands, offering me 100 yuan. Paying you back. I took it. Okay. After putting it away, I noticed the girl's cheeks were red. She looked as if she wanted to say something. What is it? Nianchu's voice was barely a whisper. You still owe me 13 yuan and 50 cents. I froze, then burst out laughing. Oh, right? I almost forgot. I took out her change. Nianchu held out both hands and accepted it. You do not need to count it. Nianchu immediately shook her head. Her pale, soft cheeks were red as tomatoes. What will you do with the rest? For a high school student in 2010. Having 400 yuan was already a small fortune. Nianchu answered seriously. 100 yuan for my meal card. 100 yuan for past exam papers. She stopped there, apparently unsure what to do with the rest. I reminded her. 50 yuan for the class outfit. Nianchu looked up, paused in surprise, then shook her head. I will not buy the class outfit. I braced both hands on the counter and looked up at the ceiling. Sure, it is only for marching with the class at the sports meet, but, Nianchu, we only get one chance at youth. A decade or so from now, maybe I will regret not studying hard enough, and you will regret not wearing a pretty dress. To your final high school sports meet. When I finished, I looked down at the delicately pretty girl. I met her gaze, my eyes smiling. Nianchu looked away and considered it quietly. Her fingers tightened unconsciously, but she could not bear to crease the red bills in her hand. Seeing that she was still torn, I did not feel frustrated. My heart only ached for her. It was only 50 yuan, yet she was treating the decision like life or death. How about this? Buy it first, after the sports meet. Sell me the one you wore for 80% of the original price. Nianchu looked at me, puzzled. I gave her a serious reminder. Do not wash it. I want it with your scent still on it. When I got home that evening, my parents were sitting in the living room, watching me with strange expressions. Clearly, Chen had already told his wife about today. Kid, if you do not make the top 35 in your class, I will make good on my word. But Su Xiaoya was curious about something else. Old Chen, you said that girl is exceptionally pretty. Is that true? Chen Qian frowned. Why would I lie to you? She looks like an angel. Next time our son has a parent-teacher meeting, let me go see her. Su Xiaoya sounded excited. Chen Qian asked me curiously, what does that girl's family do? With her looks and bearing, she does not seem to come from an ordinary family. Why is she so short of money? I shrugged, showing that I did not know either. Judging only by Lin Nianchu's looks and bearing, no one would imagine. She could not even afford a 1 yuan bread roll. I was genuinely curious about her family situation, but it involved the girl's privacy. Pushing too far would only backfire. As I was drinking some water, I suddenly saw my sister's bedroom door crack open. The little girl inside waved at me. Brother. Chen Yidong pulled me over to sit beside her bed. With a mischievous look, she wrapped herself around my arm and rested her little head on my shoulder. Brother, can you go to No. 65 middle school for my parent-teacher meeting tomorrow afternoon? I pinched her little cheeks and tipped her face up. What is going on? With a pitiful look, Chen Yidong said, I lied to Mom and Dad. I did not place in the top 20 at the end of last semester. Boo-hoo. Mom will spank my bara. Fine, but do not let it happen again. Yay, you are the best, brother. During the long break the next day, I saw Lin Nianchu take 100 yuan over to the class monitor, Zhao Zimo. After giving her size, she returned with 50 yuan. Shen Shiyu looked back, her expression full of surprise. Lin Nianchu is joining the sports meet this time. She is marching with the class. Does that mean the girl leading the group with the sign will be replaced too? When she returned to her seat, Lin Nianchu suddenly murmured to me as I read, I am not selling it. Her earlobes were red after she said it. She turned her head away and hid her delicate profile behind her upright book. I chuckled softly and continued reading. During the second class that afternoon, Lin Nianchu noticed that the boy beside her had not shown up. Clearly, I had skipped class. I took off my school uniform and put on a hoodie. With my hands in my pockets, I strolled toward No. 65 middle school. It had been a long time since I had come here. I could not help thinking of the man in overalls from back then. After crossing the street, sure enough, beside the hedge, I spotted that familiar figure. Just like before, he sat perfectly upright. I bought 2 lollipops at the corner store and walked over. I sat down beside the hedge and casually handed him one. A lollipop. The man in overalls happily accepted it. Thank you. When he turned around, he seemed to freeze for a moment. Then he smiled in delighted surprise. Little monk. Little monk. I grinned. It was the same familiar nickname from back then. I had worn a buzz cut since middle school, so he had always called me Little Monk. We had not seen each other in over 2 years, yet he still recognized me. Then an elderly voice spoke behind me. He is waiting for his daughter to get out of school, but he always forgets that she is already in high school. I turned and saw an elderly sanitation worker. Sir, do you know him? The old man sat down beside us. Of course I know him. His family has suffered terribly. He may seem simple-minded now, but back in 1998, he was a successful businessman full of ambition. I glanced at the handsome man in overalls, surprised. The old man continued later. Someone set him up. His company went bankrupt, and he had to sell his house and car. He had a son and a daughter. The family of 4 was poor, but they could still get by. Then his wife was diagnosed with leukemia. They could not afford treatment. She held on for a year, then died. I fell silent. After his wife died, he carried on raising his son and daughter. A few years later, heaven was cruel again. Days before his son's high school entrance exam, the boy was hit by a car. The boy thought he was fine. He limped home with the 500 yuan the driver paid him, but he died that very night. 500 yuan for a life. I could barely breathe. After so many devastating blows, he could not take it and lost his mind. The old man spread his hands and sighed. That man has truly suffered all his life. Does he not still have a daughter? The old man shook his head with a bitter smile. His daughter is the one I pity most. She was only 3 when the family went bankrupt. Once she was old enough to understand, she never knew an easy life. Then her brother died, and her father lost his mind. She was only a little girl, going to school while caring for her father, and she cares for him so well. That child has it so hard. A frayed rope always snaps at its weakest point. Misfortune always finds those already suffering. The old man got up and left. I remained sitting there quietly. I looked again at the man in overalls beside me. I went to the corner store and returned with a large bag of bread. I placed it in his arms. When I stood up, I saw Chen Yidong had already walked out of the school gates. She was waving at me. By evening study hall, I had finally finished the parent-teacher meeting and returned to the classroom door. Nianchu happened to be coming out of the office. "Where did you go this afternoon?" We both stopped almost at once and spoke at the same time. That sudden synchronicity made Nianchu lower her head shyly. I smiled. "I went to my little sister's parent-teacher meeting. What about you?" Nianchu gently shook her head. "Nothing." While everyone else did homework during evening study hall, I just read the theory in my textbooks. Anyway, all the teachers had already given up on me. After reading through the entire first required math textbook, I closed it. My gaze drifted to the underachievers in the back row. There were 53 students in the class. That meant I had to beat 18 people to reach the top 35. But making the top 35 was far from my goal. I had absolute confidence in English. I might even score higher than Nianchu. But I could not be so sure about the other subjects, especially math and physics. My eyes settled on Fang Yifeng, who was snoring away. He was consistently 10th from last in the class, but in my previous life, he scored over 600 on the college entrance exam. A true legend. The person who changed him was the English teacher, Yuan. I later heard that he married Yuan, and they had a child. The family of 3 lived very happily, but his turning point would come next semester. For a woman, he spent 1 semester, rising from 10th from last to scoring over 600 on the college entrance exam. To me, Fang Yifeng, the god of sleep, was a real man. I left the classroom to use the restroom. When I returned, Nianchu was suddenly gone. Her backpack was gone too. Where did Nianchu go? No idea. She left with her backpack. I looked up at our homeroom teacher, Zhou Zheng, and found her staring at me eerily from the podium. Her right hand formed a crooked V sign. First, she pointed at her own eyes, then pointed at me from across the room. That woman was like a ghost. After evening study hall ended, I rode my bike to the supermarket. Chen sat beside the register, trimming his nose hair in a compact mirror. As he looked up at me, "Huh? Do you and that girl get out at different times?" "She came by. She got here ages ago. She is working right now. That girl is so hardworking. She is 1,000 times better than you." I turned around and saw Nianchu in a little red vest. She walked over carrying a broom and a trash bin. Strands of hair clung to her fair cheeks. The red vest was the supermarket employee uniform. I used to think it was ugly as hell, but on Nianchu, it somehow looked ugly in an oddly cute way. No, she was the adorable one. The uniform was still ugly. When she saw me, Nianchu froze. Looking slightly awkward, she averted her eyes to Chen. "Uncle, should I throw out the empty bottles too?" Chen nodded. "Yeah, just toss them in the bin outside." Nianchu looked conflicted. "But the bottles can be sold for money." "Ha! How much could those possibly sell for?" "Just throw them out." I slapped the counter in front of my dad. "Wasting things is shameful. Do you not know that every little bit adds up? Find a large sack and collect the bottles." I directed the last sentence at Nianchu. She nodded happily and immediately got to it. Chen looked utterly baffled. His own son had just lectured him. I lowered my voice. "Come on, do not work her too hard. She only makes 500 yuan a month. This supermarket is huge, and you are making her clean it all by herself." She volunteered to do the cleaning herself. That is not my fault. It sounded like exactly the sort of thing this silly girl would do. I set my backpack on the counter and walked toward the busy Nianchu. I grabbed her arm and pulled her into a corner. "You went to the office to ask our homeroom teacher to let you leave evening study hall early, right? And you snuck off while I was gone." The girl was speechless. She could only hang her head, her little hands helplessly clutching an empty bottle. I snatched the bottle away and patted the wall behind her. "Keep out your tongue. Say something. Do you think working longer will earn you a raise?" "Not a chance." Nianchu looked up at me. Her beautiful eyes were full of sincerity. "I do not want a raise. Evening study hall ends at 9, so I can finish work shortly after 10. I only work 1 hour a day. Yet I get 500 yuan a month. She lowered her head and said stubbornly, 500 yuan is too much. My brain completely froze. Do you know what everyone else earns? Nianchu shook her head. I do not care how much they make. You are definitely paying me too much. If you pay me more, then I have to work more. Effort and reward should be proportional. Honestly, why are you so stubborn? I raised both hands beside her small, fair face, grinding my teeth in frustration. Nianchu eyed my lecherous hands on either side of her, then nervously stepped back. She threatened, if you bully me, I will tell uncle. Fine. I could not win against her. After taking a deep breath, I said, just do not let it interfere with your studies. Understand? Seeing me given, Nianchu gave me a beautiful smile and nodded brightly. Watching her walk away, I was helpless, but I still smiled. A year later, when the college entrance exam results came out, I ranked 7th in the school. Nianchu ranked 3rd in the province. That night, after checking our scores, I rode her home on my bicycle. As we passed the supermarket from back then, Nianchu suddenly wrapped her arms tightly around my waist from behind, pressing her face against my back. Chen Huaian. Yeah, what I owe you. I want to repay it another way. I stopped the bike and looked back at her. In the moonlight, the girl's earlobes reddened again, but this time, she did not avoid my gaze. Could I spend a lifetime paying you back? I froze for 3 seconds, then grinned like an idiot. I reached into my pocket for the hairpin I had kept there all along, and pinned it back into her hair. This time, she did not take it off. The evening breeze swept gently down Wangjiang Road, one blue and one pink. The backpacks hung from my other side of the handlebars, swaying softly. It was as if they spoke for their owners, voicing the words they had kept hidden for so long.